Hello, it's Lynn Watts here, and today I want to talk about some activities that you can do that center around the theme of goal setting. So, the early part of the year, usually January, is when many times we focus on setting resolutions, creating goals for the year, um, setting an intention for the year. There are lots of different ways to look at it. Each one of these different processes has a little different nuance to it. But depending on how you're approaching it, there are some great activities that you can do with students that help them make these ideas much more concrete and certainly help them with measuring progress that they're making on those intentions or resolutions throughout the rest of the year. So the first one that I've used often in elementary school with students and interestingly with faculty, which I would really encourage you to do because it gives a lot of insight into faculty. It helps them get focused, and in turn, it often you can use it to set a good role model for the students that you're working with. If your teachers also have picked their one word. So you've probably heard of this before, but it simply means that the individual selects a word that they want to focus on, that they want to set as a sort of a goal or their North Star, that they want to really try and embody and to make it part of everything that they do throughout the next year. Selecting one word is not always easy, but there is a lot to be said for actually picking one word, not multiple words, as many people often want to do, but one word that is going to be the key word that really sums up their goal. Once you help a student do this, and you might do it in a lot, help them in a lot of different ways. You might give them a list of words to get them thinking about some different words. You might give some examples of how somebody has used this concept before, just because it's often hard to come up with a word from a blank slate, so to speak. But once you've given them some ideas and students have come up with their word, then what you can do is have them design basically a poster using a blank sheet of paper and some markers. You could certainly add some other things if you wanted to, stickers, or just depending on how involved you want to get. But they basically illustrate that one word on that piece of paper. And then they use that to inspire themselves throughout the rest of the year. And they can use it either by, you could make a bulletin board of the words, they could keep it on their desk, they could keep it in their notebook. There are a lot of different ways to remind ourselves of what our one word is and where our focus needs to be. So that's certainly one activity that you could do with students. Another thing that you could do, which is actually very similar, it's just using a different medium, would be to make vision bracelets. So this activity you probably do with a small group, mainly because it would require a lot more investment in terms of materials, but you simply use something as the bracelet. You could use a pipe cleaner. You could use some sort of string to string beads on, and you can get beads that have different letters. You can get beads that are simply colorful or have different symbols on them. But the main thing would be that, again, that students pick one word and then they put that word into their vision bracelet. And then obviously this is something that they can wear, and that can be a great reminder of their goal or their resolution that they've made. And then the final thing that I think is a nice way to illustrate and remind ourselves of goals is to make a flip book. And in this one, again, you might have students select one word, or you might have them create a goal or an intention that they want to follow up with all through the year. And then their flip book could be divided up into 12 different sections, where each section is a month, and then they could illustrate or write about how they intend to accomplish that goal or embody that character trait in that month. It could also be used as a nice record so that they could set a goal for the month, and then they can go back and um, describe at the end of the month what they accomplished and how they were able to put that into use. So, three different ideas, three different activities that you can use to help students with goal setting and with following through and recording those goals. So, I hope this is helpful in your lesson planning. And thanks so much for listening.